Good evening. It is still Wednesday, October 30th at 6:30. And we will begin by a attendance roll, beginning with Deb.
Thank you. Deborah Hogan, mayoral appointee.
John Brunza, mayoral appointee.
Rebecca Rathmel, third district appointee.
Mary Ann Callahan, mayoral appointee.
Michelle O'Loughlin, member at large. Eileen Hughes, District 2.
Marilyn Austin, District 6.
And before we begin with our presentations, I would like us to look at the minutes of the last meeting, if there are any comments. If not, may I have a motion to approve, please?
Make a motion to approve the minutes from October 2nd, 2024.
And John seconds. Thank you. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. And before we begin, I would like to remind my colleagues that we have a 10-minute window for each agency who is represented, 5 minutes for the agency to present its program, and 5 minutes for us to ask questions that we may have. If there are questions that you think may take a little longer for an explanation, or if you think of something after the meeting, please feel free to email that question to Steve and he will forward it on to the agency. So we're going to try very hard to keep to that 10-minute window because we have several agencies presenting tonight. Thank you. So with that said, our first presenter is the Boys and Girls Club of Binghamton, Mary Beth.
Make sure you push the button so you get the mic.
And you have to keep it very close to yourself, but you probably remember that.
Yes. Well, good evening, everyone, and thank you for this opportunity. We have 3 programs that we are asking for support, so I will go through each one of them. And whatever you want to do, if you want to do questions after each one, or at the end, whatever you would like us to do. So I thought we'd start with the Teen Center.
And I think that in order to keep to that 5 and 5 thing,
Yeah.
we'll do your programs and then we can ask questions. So make notes of the questions that you have for each program.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yep. So with the Teen Center, we are asking for 20,000, which will work with 55 of our teens. And it is vital that we offer Binghamton teens access to engaging and supportive environments during after school and
Mary
summer-
Beth, could you put that a little closer to
Yeah.
you? I'm not sure our colleague up there
Okay.
can hear.
Sure.
Yeah, you almost have to be kissing it. It's really sad.
Okay. So we want to make sure that we are offering an engaging and supportive environment to our teens after school and the summer hours. We know that teens that are unsupervised, unguided, and unsafe can and does lead to dangerous and harmful situations for both the teens and our community. We have found too, through Boys and Girls Clubs of America, that statistics show every day in the United States, 11.3 million kids, that's 1 out of 5, leave school with no place to go. And that is when juvenile crime escalates most between the hours of 3 and 7. And that is the prime time that we would be having our teens at the Boys and Girls Club. Serving disadvantaged youth addresses high priority needs, including youth development, education, and crime prevention. The Boys and Girls Club of Binghamton Teen Center program addresses needs of our teens, and it is vital that we offer Binghamton teens access to engaging and supportive environments during the after-school hours. And what we would like to be able to continue to do at the Boys and Girls Club with your funding is to offer the programs that we found have worked, especially our daily Power Hour program, which focuses on education, homework, reading, and getting the work done for school the next day. That is a big thing with us at the club. We want these kids to be ready to go to school the next day because we find that if a teen is not ready, they're not going to school the next day, and we know what happens then. We also have, we would like to offer weekly tutoring. We do have a program through a grant called Taco Bell Grant, which allows us to offer tutors that are certified teachers with our kids. And we try to get Binghamton City School, high school teachers. Sometimes we're not able to, but the program works. And that is part of this program because these teachers know the work. These teachers know how to teach the kids, how to motivate the kids, and it is very important. And we also know that because we had one individual that was struggling in school. He was a senior in high school in Binghamton, and he was in danger of failing. And with this tutoring program, this young man was able to turn himself around, pass all the school, and now he's a member at SUNY Broome. We're very proud of him, and I bring that up because that's what we will continue to do. That was one, and there are many more. So this program is extremely important. We would also like to, we offer programs like the snack bar, which is a learning job experience. The kids will run the snack bar, they do inventory, they make change, and we give them the opportunity for their first job. And if they're going to make mistakes at their first job, it's better to do it with us so we can help and encourage them and show them the way to do things that are right. And we also will be doing our fitness center, computer center program where the kids eat every single night. We have a cook at the club. We have a hygiene project, which I think is so important, where we were also finding that teens weren't going to school because they didn't look good, they didn't smell good, they didn't have the things they needed. And we have 2 hygiene closets at the club, and they will continue if the teen center continues. And they are allowed to go into that closet anytime. They don't have to ask us. They don't have to show us what they're taking. They take it. If they need it for home, they take it for home. If their mom, dad, brother, sister need it, they take it. This closet is for them. And we do find that it works with the teens, and they are going to school and they are feeling better about themselves. So that's very important. And that would be a very big program with our teen center. And we know that today's teens face so many challenges, and we just hope that you will see that this program is important. The teens need to be in the Boys and Girls Club. They need to be where they feel safe. They need to feel where they have programs and they have people who care. And I really hope that you will continue to support this so we can continue to make a difference. Thank you.
Just real quick before you guys start asking questions, were you talking about the after hours team program or the teen
The
center?
teen center. The
Teen
teen
center. Thank you.
Yes.
Are there any questions? Go ahead.
That was lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think I just have, I'll start with one question that I believe I have 2, but how do you identified target population as underserved and disadvantaged teens? How do you define that?
Well, these are teens that anybody is welcome to the club. It doesn't matter, but we know when they do come to the Boys and Girls Club and they fill out membership forms, we do have to ask for income and, guidelines and things like that. So we know the families, we know the kids, we know the background. And in our opinion, if they are there, they need us. And the majority of the teens do come from disadvantaged families as far as when we look at their income. And the teens that we work with, they just need a place where they feel comfortable. They don't always feel comfortable going to some other places that cost a fee to get into, or they need transportation there, but they know the club is there and the club is accepting of no matter what they bring with them.
John?
I noticed that you've asked, for the teen center, you've asked for $5,000 more this year as compared to last year. Where are those increased costs coming from?
I was under the impression it was the same, but if it is more, what you're saying, it would be so we could deal with more children, more teens.
Okay.
Yes.
And what's the plan to attract more
Well,
teens?
The programs, some of the new programs, getting the teens out of the building a little more, which is a huge draw. Just whatever programs that we talk with the teens, we meet with the teens, and we get the programs and the services that they want. We word of mouth with the other teens, bring your friends in, let's take them, if we have the opportunity to go somewhere to a basketball game or whatever, just bring them in and let's, show them what the club is all about. The big draw would also be that everybody here, I'm sure, realizes that teens need help making sure they're going to graduate from school on time. And when we can offer the computer room, the tutors, the mentors, that is going to bring the teens in. Their parents are going to want to have the teens come in, because we don't want the teens to just leave high school without graduating or, just not knowing what they're going to do for the rest of their lives. So I'd say the programs are a big draw for the teens. Yeah.
Deborah?
Hi, Mary Beth. Quick question for you. One of the things that I noted, it's 100% funding from the City of Binghamton, but in your presentation, you spoke about Taco Bell. Why are we as a city the sole funder for this? And do you have other partners that could come on board for this particular aspect of your programming?
Taco Bell is something through Boys and Girls Clubs of America. We don't always know if we're going to get it, but it only funds tutoring and the certified teachers. So if we don't get the certified teachers, we don't get the funding, because we would have to just, send in, be reimbursed by it. But yeah, that's what Taco Bell is. The program, for us to do extra things, needed things, things that are important to the teens, there's always, if we can get more funding, we're going to try and get it.
Any other questions? And before you go on, Mary Beth,
Yeah.
can we note that our colleague Jordan Trice has arrived? Thank you.
Could I do one more
Sure.
on this in
Absolutely.
particular? So with the population that you're targeting and the
Mhm.
programs that you're offering, how do your outreach efforts in letting the community know about the program and services ensure that households who may not otherwise typically be aware or reach out on their own have the opportunity to participate?
We seem to have a close-knit community within our club. Word of mouth, getting to know parents, getting to know the families, our kids. They will talk often about neighbors and cousins and people they go to school with. So the other things like just advertising, sending things to schools, being on the media, social media, web, Facebook is a way that we reach out to people. But we find at the club has been in the community for 120 years, and people are aware of the club. People know the club. We have staff now who grew up at the club, and it just seemed, and the neighborhood we're in just is a way of making sure that we're reaching out and getting more members into the club.
Thank you. And now you will discuss.
Now I will do the after hours program. I know it's confusing because these two are for teens, but our teens are special. For the after hours program, we are asking for 50,000 to work with 45 of our teens. And this is to continue to extend current teen programs to include Friday and Saturday nights from 6 until 10. We know that teenagers are not ready to go home on a Friday or a Saturday at 6:30 or 7 o'clock. They're going to be out on the streets, or they're going to be doing things that probably they shouldn't be doing. And when we came up with this programming, it just seems to fit for our teens. Our teens are not the ones who get picked up by a family member and taken out to dinner or taken to a movie or whatever. These are kids who rely on the Boys and Girls Club to do things like that. And in the after-hour program, we do not focus so much on education. A Friday and Saturday night is not what a teenager, they don't want to do their homework and they don't want to be doing reading at that time, although they can if they'd like. But the programs include sports, games, music, cooking classes, cooking their dinner, movies, fitness center, guest speakers, and field trips. Trips in the past through this grant have included many things like the Yankees game, Syracuse football game, Binghamton University basketball games. These are opportunities that we were able to give to our teens that if they weren't at the Boys and Girls Club, they would not get. And teens for this program will receive transportation home each night, and they do get dropped off right at their homes. They don't get dropped off. They will not get dropped off at friends' homes. They must go right to their own homes so we know that they are safe. Offering club teens an appealing and supportive environment during the weekend hours helps our members engage in positive, constructive activities while avoiding juvenile crime, gang involvement, violence, drugs, and premature sexual activity. Giving youth access to after-hour programs will positively impact a critical underserved population and improve the quality of life for city residents. Please consider funding this program, a program that brings us closer to our goal of reaching more Binghamton teens for the after-hour time.
Any questions? Rebecca.
Mary Beth, you're projecting 45
Mhm.
served with this funding. Can you share how many teens were served in this program in the
Mhm.
prior year?
Yep, let me just look at my thing here. We have had for the after hours 67 members and getting anywheres from 18 to 28 to 30 a night. Some, some may have sports or whatever, may not bring them. They don't all come every Friday and Saturday, but we have 67 enrolled in this program with many attending each Friday and Saturday. Yep.
Any other questions? There being none, you may go on to the next program.
Okay. All right. And the last program that we are hoping to have funded is our summer program fee assistance. And we are asking for 26,125, which will provide program fee assistance to 55 kids for the summer. This will allow 55 youth to attend a 9-week program over the summer. The summer program provides kids with vital consistency and structure and access to positive new experiences such as swimming, baseball, field trips, and continued learning during the critical summer months. Our kids receive guidance, education, exercise, social interaction, and lunch and snack daily. These children deepen the relationship with the club when they attend during the summer and become more invested in the building and in our programs to keep them coming throughout the year. I would like to say very quickly, the reason why this program is so important, and I have said this before we had this program where we received money, when we moved into that neighborhood, we would have children who would come during the school year because the membership fee is only $65. And if they can't afford it, they don't, there's no issue. We take care of it. But the summer program, we had to have a fee because it is a longer day, more staff and more activities. And we would see, it broke the staff's heart to see little kids, if you've seen the Boys and Girls Club on the other side of the fence, looking in at the kids whose family could afford the summer program. Seeing these kids running in and out of the club and seeing some of these kids getting in the vans to go places, and our own children that we referred to them who would be with us all school year long weren't attending. It was very sad. So if you think about that, and then you imagine these kids on the other side of the fence, on our side of the fence, and attending the summer program, having all the snacks and the lunch and the field trips, that's what it's all about. We are a neighborhood over there, and those neighborhood kids deserve to be in the Boys and Girls Club, and this program will make that happen. Children need to be with us for the summer. It's a long day. And when you think of them on a hot summer day out there, that's not where they should be. They should be with us, and this program is going to make that happen. Thank you.
Any questions? Michelle?
So you anticipate 55?
Yes.
Now, what would be your capacity?
Well, we can have, the summer we can have about 85. And we do get some who can pay. And we do, even whatever money we still got from the city, there would still be a few more that we would just have to figure out how to get them in, because we're not going to turn them away. But we could have, for the summer, for it to be comfortable, we could have about 85 to 90 kids in the club.
And do you have certified teachers that participate in that, or?
No, the only certified teachers would be the teen program, but we have staff who are very well trained and
Sure.
long time
Yeah.
staff people
Yeah.
at the club.
Okay.
Nobody seems to leave.
Okay, 85 to 90, you said you
Yeah.
can handle? Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
yes. Mhm.
Questions? John?
I'm curious about the three programs and what the overlap looks like. I understand it's, 45 expected for the after hours teen program, 55 for the teen center, or 55 for the summer program.
Mhm.
What,
Yep.
how many of those are duplicates?
Well, the teen center has their own teen center. It's upstairs. And so they have a huge room upstairs. They have a snack bar area. They have a weight room. So that's where those teens are. They'll come down to the gym. We have a schedule where you'll hear every once in a while, teens may now come down to the gym. They all get their certain times. The after hours are after hours. So the teens, they have the whole club. Excuse me, sorry. Nobody else is in there. So they have the whole club. And the summer is just, the summer, mainly these kids are the younger kids. Although we do have some of the teens that we have for this funding. So when you have the teens own area, the younger kids own area, and then the after hours, we can do all this programming.
Right. I guess I'm asking, like, how many teens from the center also participate in the after hours?
Yes.
And I know that they,
Yeah.
kind of aging out of the summer program, but in theory, they could
Oh, yeah.
participate there as well. So,
Yeah. Yep.
we have a total of 155
Mm-hmm.
between the three, but
Yep.
how,
Yeah.
what's really the total?
We have, for the teen center, we have 87 members. For let's just get this here, our after hours, 67. But those are a lot of the same kids too. Like a lot of the teenagers just stay for the after hours. Yes. Oh, yes, absolutely. Oh, yes, absolutely. A good part, I would say probably 75 to 80% of the teens, when they're with us during the day, they stay Friday and Saturday. Yes. And then the summer program, we have teens as well as the little kids. So that 85 we were talking about, that would be teens and younger kids. Yes.
Deborah?
Mary Beth, quick question, too. One, again, this is 100% through the city of Binghamton, and screening process because children from other schools attend the summer program. So how do you make sure that it's specifically City of Binghamton children?
It's only City of Binghamton. We work with Steve. We have all the forms. Anybody who gets funding through the City of Binghamton are City of Binghamton students or residents. Yes, absolutely, 100%.
And then just going back again, this is 100% funding that's been for several years. Are there any other partners available for this aspect?
For the summer program? Or,
Yes.
we really do not get, we have tried, we are finding, which I'm sure many people are finding, that funding, it seems like we're all going after the same dollars, and it's not as easy. We try, we work, that's part of my job, to always be looking for funding, because the need, sorry for my back, the need is great, the numbers are great, and we try the best we can to get the funding. So if we get it, we're very happy about it, but it's not as easy to get, especially when there just isn't as much funding to be had, and as much as we used to be able to get.
But I'm sorry. Hi, how are you? A
Hi.
quick question.
Mhm.
So, but it seems like, I'm not sure, but every year you guys are funded through the city of Binghamton though, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yes. And these are, keep in mind too, these are just some of the programs that we do, like within the teen center, within the after hours. We try and do more things for the club and the kids as well. But without this funding, we wouldn't have as detailed or as, as strong of a program for the teens. And for the summer program, it would be very difficult if we didn't have this funding.
Thank you. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thank you for changing my time, Steve. I appreciate it. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you.
Our next presenter is the Action for Older Persons Senior Health Insurance Counseling Program. And while we wait for our presenter to come, can we make a note that our Councilwoman Kenya Middleton, ex officio officer for the CDAC, has arrived.
Kenya, I put on my notes to give you a proper tent card for next time.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Kind. Thank you.
Also, just in case anyone's lost, in general, the presentations you're going to see are in the same order they are in the packet. The difference for this time, though, is Boys and Girls Club had to move ahead. So from this point on, you should be able to follow they're in alphabetical order, grouped by type of programs.
Boys and Girls Club was on top. Oh, you mean alphabetically?
In the packet.
Oh, in the packet. I'm sorry. Hello.
Okay. Am I doing this right now?
You need to put the microphone very close to your face.
Okay, eat the microphone. Well, good evening, everyone. I'm ready to go. Yeah?
Yes, absolutely. Please do.
And I'm sorry. I always feel like I need to read notes because it makes me nervous.
Please don't be nervous. We're just
You're
your,
all lovely. I just won't remember what the heck I'm saying if I don't try to use some notes. I'm Jessie Stonehey. I'm the Executive Director of Action for Older Persons. And Action for Older Persons is known by a lot of people in the community as AOP. We are the only aging services nonprofit in the community, even though seniors are one of our community's most quickly growing demographics. So I looked at who all the agencies are that you're seeing today, and I noticed there's a lot of children's programs. So just keep in mind, we're the only aging one. So first, I want to thank the City of Binghamton for being an essential supporter of the program for many years. So you support our senior health insurance program, which is otherwise known as Medicare counseling. Medicare was created as a safety net program in the 1960s to ensure that all seniors regardless of their income, would have affordable health insurance. At the time that it was created, almost half of all seniors were going without health insurance because they couldn't afford it. Simply put, getting older is expensive. Older adults spend a heck of a lot of money on healthcare, 4 times that than the rest of the population. At the same time, seniors have lower incomes. Health insurance for many is one of their largest monthly expenses. That's why enrolling in the right Medicare plan is so important. So not everyone's face is familiar with me today. So I know that there are people in the room that haven't experienced Medicare. And as someone who hasn't personally had to use it yet, I can tell you I was astounded when I took this job, because I'd always had employer health insurance where you have 3 to 5 options to choose from. For our Medicare beneficiaries, they have about 100. It is completely overwhelming and frankly unfair. So you really need health insurance and you can't tell if you've got the right stuff. And if something serious happens, which often does, you have no idea if you're going to be covered. So it's absolutely terrifying for people, especially if they've got significant health needs. So our staff, which plus 20 New York State certified volunteers, work with our clients to determine what an individual's healthcare needs are and help them find the most cost-effective plan that meets their individual needs. Last year alone, we saved Broome County residents $3.4 million in healthcare insurance. I mean, those are huge numbers. In terms of City of Binghamton residents, our counselors provided one-on-one counseling to 349 City of Binghamton residents, though that's far more counseling appointments than individuals, because many will come to us more than once, especially if they qualify for a financial assistance program, because those applications are complicated and confusing. But for those who qualify, they can save between $7,000 and $8,000. For people that can be effectively life-altering for someone. For someone who's living on a fixed income, this can change their life because they are not only actually going to their doctor, which many don't otherwise, they're actually taking their medications as prescribed, and they can afford other life's necessities like food and shelter. So I just wanted to give a quick little example of a client that recently came in to see us. His name is Sam. He was a lovely gentleman in his 70s. He came to us because he'd spent in 1 year, and we were not even at the end of the year, $12,000 on health insurance. And this was incredibly challenging for him. He also needed to have lung transplant. He came to us because he wanted to make sure he could afford it. And the reality was he had the wrong type of insurance, because there's 2 types of Medicare: traditional Medicare and what's called a Medicare Advantage plan. And I'm not going to try to explain the difference because it's complicated and confusing, but basically he had the wrong kind. So he would not have been able to get a transplant outside of New York State. And his doctor was telling him to go outside of New York State. It was a simple change for us to make, but he wouldn't have understood how to make it on his own. We also got him enrolled in UHS has a financial benefit plan for drugs and medications. So we were able to get him enrolled in that, which dramatically saved what he was paying. So he went from spending $12,000 a year, probably more because we're not at the end of the year, to knowing next year he'll still spend a quarter of that, and he can afford to get the care he needs. So just one example, but I know my time's almost up. So I'm sure many of you have questions. So I just want to thank you once again.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Rebecca?
Well, and I think I have this outreach question for most agencies, so you may have heard it prior, but how do your outreach efforts ensure that seniors who may not typically reach out on their own or be around enough to know the program is an option can participate in services?
So I will say we've made a really focused effort over the last couple of years. What I said was the Medicare Savings Program. So it went from, there are farmer people that qualify for it. That's the program where people can save about $8,000 a year if they qualify. So we made a kind of switch internally where we really prioritized outreach to find those people, especially because the income limits expanded, which there were a lot of people that weren't previously qualified. So we work with like Meals on Wheels. We reach out to Catholic charities. We go to all the senior centers. We go to SEP housing. We have done, we do seminars at City of Binghamton. We do seminars at the library. That's been really important to us because there were a lot of people that weren't knowing that that program existed or that it had expanded because they might not have qualified for it in the past. And I think it's in one of those two things I gave you. So outreach has been a huge part. In fact, we went and we got additional funding. I secured 2 grants from local foundations to specifically focus on outreach, to provide a staff person's position to focus on a part-time basis doing outreach.
I had a question. So how many people do you serve from, how many seniors do you serve from Binghamton?
350.
350 in all of your, is it mainly Binghamton, that you are serving seniors, or is it all
No,
over?
it's the whole county.
Okay, and are you getting funding from other parts? Like, are you going to
Absolutely.
them?
Yes, we get a lot. I mean, we do a lot of fundraising for this program.
Okay,
Just to kind of contrast what our programs like in our county compared to the rest of the state,
Mhm.
we do far more enrollments for a county of our size than almost anywhere else in the state. I actually brought somewhere in here a
Mhm.
certificate because we got an award for it this year.
congratulations.
And that's because we do so much fundraising. Most places don't operate with any volunteers. Most other counties, like if you were to go to Tioga County, I think they've got 1 volunteer versus our 20. We go to United Way for funding. We go to Town of Union for funding. We had a couple of private foundations that fund. Our funding also comes from Office for Aging. And then we use a lot of our fundraised dollars directly for the program.
To further enforce what she just said, as an elderly person who might qualify for their program, if you don't call in early September to get an appointment during the period of enrollment, you may not get an appointment because they fill up very, very quickly. And their staff knows you when you call, and I take
Good.
advantage of that. They know you, and it's kind of scary.
But there's very special things that happen. So some of those savings programs create like a special enrollment in period. So if you know anyone who might qualify, anyone in your life, everyone thinks about health insurance and just being enrolled in the fall. And this is where the outreach comes in. These special enrollment periods appear if you can qualify for a savings program. So it's this little special loophole where we can get somebody into better insurance at any time in the year if they qualify for the program. And they might think from the financial limits they don't, but it's not true because there's ways to calculate it a little bit differently than what they might find on their own that are, insurers don't make it easy for people to figure out that you can get better insurance.
Are there any other? Oh, Deb.
It's more of a comment, and thank you very much. Can testify to one of your outreaches was recently at St. Thomas, and that was also Zoomed and is available for members to take a look at. And what I also like to see is your funding. You're asking for a portion of your budget, and it shows here that you have several other funding sources versus 100% ask from us. So great job in being diligent, and excited to hear about that new part-time position for outreach. I think that's new for this time before us.
I don't want to seem misleading. It's not too new. It is not a new position. It is more hours on an existing position because there's this whole problem with going to another full-time position called benefits and the cost of benefits, that you have to bring in a significantly more amount of additional funding to get there, which I'm working towards.
Thank you.
Good job. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you very much
Thank you.
for everything you do.
Thank you.
Our next presenter is from the Astor D. Rice Foundation, the FACE program, Families Achieve Community Empowerment.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hello.
My little cheat sheet too. Good evening. My name is Amy Rice and I'm the Executive Director of the Astor D. Rice Foundation. And I came here tonight to share with you our program, Families Achieve Community Empowerment. I'm so honored to be here, but a little torn. Tonight is our first family engagement night for this school year. So I just left there to come here. This is the first one I even missed a portion of. I love it.
Aw.
And it just means so much to me and our foundation. But thank you for having me. Um, uh,
Amy,
we-
keep the mic very close to you, unfortunately, or the people in the back won't hear you.
okay. Um, our hope is to secure support and partnership in funding this vital program. It's for our East Middle students, and it's a critical time in their life, both for academics as well as social development. Our program FACE provides early intervention, proactive supports to students and parents, both to strengthen familial bonds, improve participants' health and wellness, develop critical skills while increasing family engagement with schools and other community resources to aid in future success. FACE is a holistic, strength-based approach that consists of multiple components. We have our 12-week after-school program where we provide mentoring, skill building, recreational activities, including field trips. We've taken the youth to Cornell University. We've taken them to Monmouth, the families and youth to Monmouth University. We've done various community field trips as well. Just last week, we took our students to the Makerspace to introduce them to that resource in the community, and they had a great time making some crafts and just doing some really cool things there. The second component of our program is the family engagement nights, and what that consists of is we provide parent groups to support our middle school parents, which we provide access to information and resources, and then just provide a sense of support in rearing their middle school students. These multifamily sessions include family meals, which address some of our food insecurities that many of our families experience, as well as provide quality family bonding time to have healthy communication and socialization within the family as well as other community members. Other key elements of the FACE program are we provide monthly follow-up sessions for every graduate who participated in the program. So every month, one family night engagement session a month, we invite all participants who previously participated to come back and join us, just to keep that consistent continuity of being available to the individuals who embark on this journey with us, and we're always readily available to them outside of program hours. Also, we provide transportation to all of our families. If they drive, we provide them with a small gas stipend. And if they don't, we provide door-to-door transportation for not only the student, but the families who don't drive as well. In addition to that, we provide childcare for younger siblings, which we do a lot of age-appropriate learning activities so that the entire family can participate and enjoy the programs that we provide. It is worthwhile to highlight that our program demonstrates community building in action. It teaches our families how to foster strong community connections through positive examples. We're deeply grateful to the community stakeholders and businesses and organizations whose invaluable support in collaborating helps make space an extraordinary opportunity and experience for all our youth and families. Some of these examples of collaboration efforts are our partnerships with East Middle School. Not only do they host a program, but they also provide essential referrals and make direct referrals to us for individuals who could most benefit from the program. We've also partnered with SUNY Broome to provide our over the summer follow-up sessions with them. Our students and families were able to go out there and were educated about and additional vocational and educational pathways right here in the community. It's an amazing opportunity for them. We work with Vines who assist us in providing transportation as well as coming in and educating our families about gardening and sustainability and offer them the opportunity to participate free of charge in their community gardens. And also our new friends, our cohorts from this session right here, we had the ability to come out, as I noted, to Makerspace and participate in their offerings. We've also partnered with Dr. Sharon Bryant with her team coming out from the Binghamton University to engage with both our parents and our students. We've also engaged local businesses such as BX Player Development that's hosted field trips to their health and wellness center to just enrich our students' well-being. We're extremely grateful for all these partners that bring incredible value to our families, and we want to continue to develop those relationships in this community as we encourage our families to do the same. We humbly ask for your support to ensure that our students and families can continue this incredible opportunity with the FACE program.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Are there any questions? Rebecca?
That was wonderful. Thank you. You touched on East Middle teachers referring students directly. Are all of the participants in the FACE program referred directly through like teachers and staff at East Middle?
Not all of them. A large number of this session right now's participants were direct referrals, but we also engage deeply in the community. We go out to Town and Country, we go out to Carlisle, we go out to Saratoga Terrace, we table at different events just to engage with families in those communities and also downtown Binghamton that attend East Middle School. So we also get referrals from word of mouth as well as just engaging in the community.
Hi, Amy. I just wanted to say something. Last year, I love how you guys had the cleanup. I was happy to attend that, and it was really good that you cleaned up Center City. It's kind of one of the overlooked areas. And I was really grateful that your foundation, you fed everyone. You provided not only that, but you provided blue bags to people who were there. So even people in the neighborhood who probably wouldn't be able to afford the blue bags, you gave those out to people, and recycle bins. So thank you so much for your service.
Any other questions? Go ahead, Michelle.
So I think I saw you on the news tonight just before
Yeah.
I came over
Yeah.
here. So you did secure a grant, correct?
Yes, we've secured a grant from the district attorney's office, which is being utilized for this school year. That grant is, but we have discussed it being an ongoing grant to award for the following years to come.
Okay, so you're still waiting to hear about the other?
We're waiting to hear from,
Visions and
no, we've received funding from Visions. We received $25,000 from Visions for this school year. We've also received, so we're waiting to hear from Community Foundation, Kresge Foundation, and Tioga Downs. Actually, I submitted that after I submitted this proposal, and we increased our ask for them from 7,500 to 32. So we should hear from them by December 3rd, Kresge Foundation in January, and the Community Foundation in their spring award for next school year.
And so you're located, I'm sorry, I'm not clear on where you actually are located.
So again, we partner with other organizations in the community, and Vines has given us office space to work out of. We are a new organization. So initially I was working from home, but we partner a lot with Vines. So I have an office out of Vines, but our programming is at East Middle School for the FACE program.
Okay. And then, so will you be in the old St. Mary's Rec Center eventually?
So that's our hope. We hope to be able to utilize that facility to put on additional programming, develop additional programming there. So we're in talks with the mayor now to see how we can work that out.
Okay, so nothing's finalized on that part yet.
Not yet, no.
Okay.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah, that's the area that that's the neighborhood that I grew up in. I grew up at 47 Carroll Street. My brother is the founder of this organization. We have a deep love for that community, and I just find that things are really working out because that's the area that we really, really want to focus on. That community also, students from that community go to East Middle School as well. And that Center City is needing some attention, and we love it, and that's what we came to do, support those individuals in that neighborhood.
Thank you.
Deb, did you have a question?
Question and concerning, it seems to be very heavy on the staffing aspect for the funding from CDBG. Could you tell us just a little bit more about your health specialist that you have come in? Is that the Binghamton University connection?
No, actually, we have two mental health specialists that come in. One primarily works with the adults and the other works with more so the youth. And then we also have childcare providers and a youth mentor. And then we have some interns that work with us as well, with the families.
Any other questions?
Just a comment maybe coming off of your response there. That's what stands out to me about this program is how comprehensive it seems y'all have considered the mental health aspect, the childcare aspect. I mean, there's piece after piece of this that takes into account the entire family and the community, and I appreciated that represented.
And I guess I have a comment too. It seems that your program is very holistic in that it includes both the children and the parents. Would you say that you're rather unique in that?
I think so, from the different programs that I see here, but I think it's imperative. I think if we pour only into the children, we're only going to be with them so many hours a day. But if we support and strengthen the bonds and the skills of the parents and the resources that they're able to obtain, then we're gonna mend families and strengthen families and make them whole.
Thank you.
I was just gonna say one last thing, with them talking, I think maybe this program might really be good for like just the city school district as a whole. I mean, I know that's probably gonna stretch you thin, but I honestly think putting these programs inside of the school, it could take less stress off the social workers, because there isn't, yeah, like there isn't that many social workers to go around with the issues that some of the kids are facing. And honestly, like with programs like this can definitely help with with hiring education, because if parents are more involved, then our children succeed. Not only that, I can go on forever about how I think this program is great, but it also can bring our city out of poverty by us educating our kids and parents together. So thank you so much for that.
As an aside, as a school board member, that has sort of occurred to some of us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
for
very
your
much.
support.
I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Our next presenter is the Urban League for the Attain and the Drawbridges program. Actually, we're not doing too bad. Amazing. Getting here at all is, the up and then the down to get even into the hall.
Okay. I have some coming this way. Okay.
Yeah, it's only for me.
Okay, so
Hi
the
there.
Attain Lab first.
Hang on. Thank you. Yes, and we would ask you to keep the mic very close to you so everybody can hear you.
Okay, how's that? Okay. All right. Well, good evening, everybody. I'm Jennifer Lesko. I'm the president and CEO of the Broome County Urban League. I actually, next month, will be celebrating 19 years as a CEO. I was told I'm the longest running CEO in the history of the Urban League. So that's awesome. So we do some great programs, but one of the programs that you so generously fund is our Attain Lab. I did pass out a flyer so you could see some of the things that our Attain Lab offers. This program, for those of you who don't know, is funded through the SUNY system. It's funded through the University Center for Academic and Workforce Development. And what they do is they invest a little over $1 million in the community with the staffing, the credentialing, the testing vouchers, the training. And we, as the community-based organization that oversees that program, we provide funds for rent, Wi-Fi, cleaning services, things like that. And I think the most wonderful thing that we see is that these programs are all free. So folks can come in and get a basic certification. We have everything from this is how you double click a mouse all the way up to some advanced certifications that are national credentials. We also, within this program, work with employers so we can tailor programs specifically for their employees. We've worked with Raymond Corporation. We've worked with Corning, a business in Corning. They wanted their staff to have workplace computing certification, so we were able to do that for free. We normally see about 800 individuals a year. About 200 or a little more are within the city of Binghamton. This program can also now be done either in person or distance learning, which makes it much more accessible for folks because our labs are here in Binghamton. We have some individuals that have come from Endicott, and for some folks from Endicott to Binghamton, if they're not familiar, they tell me it's like driving in New York City. I mean, I don't drive in New York City, so I wouldn't know. But we're really, really proud of this program. We've had this program since 2008. In 2010, we became a certified lab. And for the last 12 years, we have received the award at the state level for providing the most Microsoft and workforce credentials. Out of the folks that we serve, we have about a 78% job placement rate. One of the things we're doing now is our QuickBooks certification. And I'm for folks who know me, I'm very big. I think it's financially irresponsible to put someone through a QuickBooks program and say, hey, congratulations, you got your certification. Let me know how you make out. To me, that's a waste of money. So last year when we did this, we certified 15 people, 12 people got hired by tax preparation agencies, and 10 of them are still employed. So we really try and work with employers so we can put folks through these certifications and then get them a job, because we think that's really, really important. One of the things we're doing now is working with the, Kaufman incubator, and we're working with Ebony to put together a Edmentum credentialing for manufacturing and the battery plant that they were talking about. So we're working on that right now. So folks can go into these jobs and have these technology skills. And kind of, I think it gives folks more confidence and it puts them ahead of the folks that don't have that. One of the things also, if someone gets their MOS certification, their Microsoft Office specialist, they are allowed to use the logo on their resume. And we've had a number of employers call us and say that was one of the reasons why they interviewed and hired those folks, because they had that credential. So we think this program is really successful and really needed. So we hope you will consider continuing that funding.
Thank you. Questions?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I like
I guess we
that.
can, I guess we can go on to the next program.
Thank you very much. So let me get out some notes here. Okay. So the next program we're coming to for funding to ask you for support is our after school and summer program. The city has generously funded this program since before I came to the Urban League. So you have been a huge piece of support for us for many years. Our program, our after school and summer program is really a year-long program. Most of our kids, probably 70% of our kids, come in September and they go right through the August summer program. So quickly about after school, we serve probably 30 to 40 kids a day. They don't come every day. Our program is licensed for children 5 to 12 years of age. We also are an inclusionary program for kids with special needs. So we also have children 5 to 21 years of age who come to us through Office of Persons with Developmental Disabilities. This year, we were very pleased. We have a workforce component to this program, and we had 2 18-year-old young girls that were staff assistants during our summer program. So they helped with the activities, they helped get the kids on the buses for field trips, they read to the kids, and they got paid. They got a stipend. And it was really, really incredible to see some of the positives that came from that, because what we're really seeing is being a true inclusionary program. We have our general education kids that learn from our kids, from OPWDD and vice versa, that we're really not all that different. So we're really, really proud of that program. Within our after school program, this past school year, 88% of our kids were reading at or above their grade level and performing at or above their grade level in math. And the way we do that is we partner with probably 12 different organizations. Binghamton University interns, SUNY Broome interns are huge. We work with some of the sororities and fraternities. This year, we did a first aid summit, what we called it, with the Binghamton University ambulance, Harper's Ferry, with Harper's Ferry, and the kids learned first aid, CPR for their grade level. And then we talked about how to be a safe neighbor and how to be a good neighbor and how to be safe in your neighborhood. We also did a finance camp with Visions Federal Credit Union, and we broke them up by age group, like the 5 and 6-year-olds. They got so much money, and we asked, most of them wanted like McDonald's or, toys or something, but we gave them a budget and showed them how to follow their budget. And we did that with all of our kids. We also did a recycling camp where kids brought in all the recyclables from their house, and then we put them together, and then we weighed them, and kids got prizes. And then we also do a science fair where kids put together science experiments and show them to their families. We also do a program with Binghamton University nursing students where our families and children come in a couple times a year, and they learn about health, mental health, exercise, nutrition. And then we also have a summer program, which is 7.5 weeks long, and it's 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. We do field trips every Friday. We feed the kids. We give them breakfast, lunch, a snack. Sometimes we do dinner. And summer is just a blast. The kids have so much fun. The parents are involved. Many of the parents tell us that they love it because the kids come home like ready to go to sleep because they're so tired. And we're very pleased that we have been able to give out brand new sneakers from Dick's and an outfit for the kids to start school in our last 2 summer programs. And this is just so touching to me that one of our single fathers came up to us and his 2 kids got new sneakers. And that was the first pair of new sneakers they ever got. And that was just so touching that we were able to do that. And as I said, we've continued to get funding from the city for a couple decades now. So we hope that you will consider still supporting our drawbridges after school and summer program. Thanks.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Deborah?
Hi, Jen. How are you? We miss you on
good.
Carroll
How are
Street.
you?
Can't you come back? I'm blown away with the diversity of programs, and I think you even expanded them since you were in Center City.
yes.
I'm very impressed with the partnership with BU and having the students have an impact. And not only are they presenting programs, it sounds, are they not mentoring the children?
Yeah, they do a lot of one-on-one mentoring with the students because it's really important that they see kids that look like them, that they can relate to, because 80% of our kids are living at or just below poverty. So it's really nice for them to see students who they can relate to who are also going to college. And we also have them coming in this year and they're learning sign language and Spanish. So that will be great to see how that turns out.
Just a follow up, could you tell me where are you running the summer program out of?
We were running it out of the community center, out of Two Rivers Church, out of the Circle, but that's under construction. So this summer we were, we do our after school at Calvin Coolidge and at the church right across the street from us. And this year Calvin Coolidge was going through asbestos abatement. So we had to move everything over to the church right across, I think it's 83 Main. It's the Presbyterian church has the gym and everything downstairs. We did apply for a grant, hopefully we'll get in January, for an older youth intramural sports program where we'll be partnering with the Astor Rice Foundation and the Binghamton Boys and Girls Club. Because a lot of what we do, once our kids hit 12, they're outside of our license. So then we refer them. We refer them to those programs so they don't fall through the cracks or miss any support.
Of course. Great job. Thank you very much. And also what I like to see is it's not 100% funding from CDBG. You varied that because we heard earlier tonight, everybody seems to be going after the same dollars, but yet you've been able to secure that. So kudos.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
I was just gonna say something, per usual, me always talking. I wanted to say, thank you. I know you guys had something where it was like a rummage sale and you guys were like giving away things like to people. So you didn't speak about that today, but you guys do a lot of other programs and things
Yes.
just to help the community. So thank you so much for that.
Yeah, we're doing that again where we
Okay,
give away
awesome.
hygiene kits,
Yeah.
bedding, food. We're doing 60 Thanksgiving baskets,
Thank you.
Christmas toys and Christmas gifts. So and one of the cool things about the Urban League, a lot of our families participate in all of our programs, whether it's our food insecurity, clothing, job training, youth programs. So we try and make it a one-stop shop, I guess you could say. Yep. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
For everything you do.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, folks.
Thank you. Our next presenter is the Broome County Council of Churches for the Greater Good Grocery Store. Wow. This is one of the very smoothly.
Thank you. Oh, you need one more.
Hers is gonna be from that end.
Oh,
All right,
thank you.
Thank you. I don't need one. I don't need one.
No, there's one. Yeah. Thank you. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you probably don't. Okay.
All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
All
Good
right.
evening.
Good evening. My name is Devin Donnelly. I'm here on behalf of the Greater Good Grocery Store today. So I just wanted to go over some of the different programs and events that we've done and things that we continue to do that we do for the community and for the people around us. So to start, like I said, my name is Devin Donnelly. I've been with the grocery store since we opened in 2021. I started as a part-time cashier, worked my way up to a produce manager and now an assistant manager here. Like I said, they opened in 2021. We opened in January of 2021. The goal of the store has always been to provide affordable and nutritious groceries to the community, especially on the north side of Binghamton, which prior to us opening had been a food desert for over 20 years. Since we've opened, we've assisted over 65,000 customers. One of the bigger events that we do that occurs each month is our free produce giveaway. It's sponsored by M&T Bank. We do it the last Wednesday of each month. I just came from that right now. It was another good turnout for that. Since we've started, we've had over 30 events and been able to supply the community with approximately 10,000 bags of prepacked produce. Our next consistent annual event was our back to school bash. We do that the first Sunday in August each year. We started that in 2022. So this year we just had our third one. It was by far the biggest one we've had. We were able to supply the community with over 300 bags of school supplies and have 700 people come in total, including the families and other people from the community. Since that first back to school bash, we've been doing a give back program that helps double the amount. So we match dollar for dollar when people spend EBT within the store. Since we've started that in August of 2022, we've matched up over $120,000 worth of groceries that have gone back into the community and helped expand people's food budgets. Something we started this year was our mobile market bus. We started that in January of 2024. It's a program that allows us to bring our product and our programs across the entirety of Broome County. We have stops from Endicott to, I don't know, it's all over the place. It's a great thing. It's worked really well. Since we started it this year, we've had over 1,800 transactions and have accumulated 20,000 in sales. It has grown significantly each month. Last month was previously the biggest, and so far this month it's already up 51% in sales from where it was last month. And one of the last big programs I wanted to point out was the work we do with BOCES and Family Enrichment. We regularly throughout the year host students and young adults from both BOCES and Family Enrichment to help young adults get more hands-on and real-world training in a job environment and help them get accustomed to that kind of work and that kind of experiences.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
I wonder if, and this might only be anecdotal, but I'd be curious if the increases that you're seeing are representative of families who no longer have the option on Southside East of the Weiss since its closure. Have households talked about that at all? Again, I realize it's just anecdotal, but.
So, yeah, I don't have a number for that, but it's simply something I've heard. It's during the giveaways, and I know in our big event in August, that was something that got brought up again because that opened up, like it showed each year we do that, more people get eyes on the store. So hearing them see that, oh, there's a new option that's closer by than going all the way to the Weiss or to Walmart or options like that.
Any other questions? Deb?
Maybe I'm missing it, but the request is for staffing positions versus programming. Is that because what you've outlined here in your handout, phenomenal. And the one of my friends, the funeral home just presented you folks with a check. But I'm just not understanding where the programming, or is it because labor is needed to take these programs out in the community? Just if you could clarify for me.
Yeah, so the funding today is for the staffing, and it comes directly from the different labor that's required for each of these events. All of the events are staffed pretty much exclusively by the store staff. The only one that we receive regular volunteers for is M&T Bank. So it's helping us continue to be able to offer the back to school bash, the give back program, and stuff like the mobile market bus.
Thank you for clarifying.
Any other questions? There being none, thank you.
Thank you
very
Devin.
much.
Mama's proud.
That's anecdotal, right? Our next presenter is Fairview Recovery for the Intensive Care Navigator.
Can you hear
Good
me?
evening.
Good evening. Hi. So my name is Pat Haley. I'm the Executive Director and I'm from Fairview Recovery Services. And I came here tonight to speak about our Intensive Care Navigator position that the City of Binghamton has so generously funded. We first received funding in 2017 as a result of Mayor David asking us if we had a gap in our service that money from the city could help with. We decided that we really could use a staff member to help track and provide intermediate care to those transitioning from one level of care to the next. We found that people that were, if they didn't go door to door, like they had to stay at the YMCA or the YWCA while waiting for a bed to open at our facility, they were relapsing. They were just left to their own devices. So the ICN position took on that job of following the clients in whatever transitional housing setting that they were living in and made sure that their needs were being met so that they didn't fall through the cracks. The ICN helps the client to stay on track with attending self-help meetings, medical appointments, DSS appointments, and just supporting them with basic needs such as food and clothing. The added support has really made a huge difference in the number of clients not relapsing and ending back up at the beginning of our service. So throughout the years of having this position, which I said started in 2017, we have helped over 1,000 people stay connected and get to that next level of treatment, continue on with their recovery process. For example, like in 2016, it was a low year, but we had 45 clients and 41 of those made it to that next level of care. So a huge success, I think. So I just wanted to thank everyone on the City Council and the City of Binghamton for their support for this position.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
Hi, Pat. Thank you. Is this typically, so this is for ESG funding?
No, it's for CBDG.
So and I guess that's my clarifying question. So the request is within the ESG program application and it identifies homelessness prevention. So is that just, is that incorrect on my part?
This was, I believe, the conversation we had the other day. For
Yes.
clarification, if you want to clarify.
So yes, it is. They do fall into that homeless category because we're helping homeless people in the city of Binghamton stay connected. But it does fall under the CBDG funding.
So is this an okay, so it's a CDB. I totally get the eligibility in terms of at risk of homelessness, no issue with that, but I'm just hoping to clarify this is CDBG, not an ESG request.
Correct.
Okay. Am I the only one who has it on an ESG application?
Oh, they submitted their multiple copies on an ESG application. And then I clarified with them to make sure that, to verify that they because I said, is this a program, a homelessness prevention program? Because I was confused. They said, no, it
Okay.
wasn't.
So I just
So-
missed that conversation somewhere.
Yeah,
So
no,
I
that
thought-
was, that happened behind the scene, but I
Oh,
didn't make
okay.
14 copies of a CDBG application. I usually go with whatever is given to us. So yes,
Sure.
it's a
No,
CDBG application.
I appreciate you clarifying.
There was an error made on our end.
I mean, it's
that
honestly
we
eligible either way,
clarified with
but
Steve,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you, Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
I will try to get a new summary sheet out to indicate which grant, subcategory of grants, and their request, as well as the presentation order, and send that out to everybody so they're clarified. But yes, the ICN from Fairview is a CDBG program. It is not, they're not asking for homelessness prevention ESG money.
Any other questions? Deb?
This is just from longevity. In the past, I believe that was 45,000. Has there been an increase?
There has, Mayor Cram asked us if we could use an increase, and so it has been increased by $10,000 to $55,000 now.
Okay, thank you.
That was just this past year. That's helped it out a great deal with staff retention, being able to attract a candidate to want to do this work. So,
Are you paying the person more?
yes.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the part that we really wanted was, we weren't attracting many candidates for the amount of money that we were paying them. So,
I think I would just add anytime that prevention dollars can be identified and expended as opposed to the significant cost of shelter or street outreach services, like the return on this, not only financially, but to stabilize an individual
Yeah.
who is not going to have that door to door. I mean, it's essential.
yeah, agreed. Thank you.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a good evening.
You
Okay. No. Steve has just asked permission to make some comments, and even though I denied that he could, he will.
Just for some clarification, this round of funding, yes. I was going to talk about Fairview Recovery as CDBG, not ESG. That was just due to an error. We had a couple agencies we thought were going to apply and did not. Literacy volunteers did not apply, although they were notified. One church was going to apply, insisted they were going to apply, asked a million questions, and we didn't apply. We funded a bunch of churches, and unfortunately, all the churches merged together in my brain.
Is it Trinity?
No, I don't think it's Trinity. It wasn't. Trinity was last year asked for that money.
Okay.
But yeah, it wasn't Trinity. It's Reverend, I can't remember.
Demond?
No.
No, not Demond.
No. So then the other one, you might notice this in case anyone's got questions. Catholic Charities did not apply for TTLP funding. I reached out to them and said, just so you're aware, if you do not receive $1 worth of ESG funding, you can no longer apply for ESG funding. They responded a few days later with an email saying, we are aware of that. We received separate funding now. We understand we will not be able to apply for ESG money in the future. And if we do want to get funding, we'll have to go through CDBG. So they are aware of it. But I did clarify with the agency to make sure that they understood what was going on. Other than that, yes, the packets are essentially in order of the presentations. I'll get the, really the first section is CDBG service, then it's CDBG capital, and then it's ESG broken down by the subcategories of ESG. I lost my train of thought. One thing I want to, these are your packets. I would like the binders back after the end of the year, but feel free to take notes. Feel free to scribble on them. If you want to doodle on them, fine. If you want to put stickies here and there, if you want to rearrange your packets, you are more than welcome. Please do that. These are your packets. So Don't feel like you can't do anything. I'm not gonna do anything with the applications after this year. I'm gonna keep one copy and I already have one. So just to be aware of that with your packets, so that you can utilize it as best you can. So that's it.
Do we have totals yet for categories?
We do not, and that'll be part of my my summary will be the amount they're requesting, and then I can subcategory. I will tell you, service funding is going to be very low this year. I did a quick back of the envelope calculation. You're looking at probably about a $250,000 max for CDBG service funding. Remember, capital funding is not capped, and ESG funding does have its own weird cap, which is its own weird issue. So they're, yeah, but I'll get you a summary of that, and I'll give you the breakdowns and summaries.
Not having numbers to work with just makes it more fun. Okay, if there is nothing else, then I would like a roll call, beginning with Deborah.
Deborah Hogan, mayoral appointee. Thank you.
John Brunza, mayoral appointee.
Rebecca Rathmel, third district appointee.
Kenya Middleton, second district city council ex officio.
Mary Ann Callahan, mayoral appointee.
Michelle O'Loughlin, member at large. Eileen Hughes, District 2.
Marilyn Austin, District 6.
Jordan Trice, District 5.
And may I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
7:57, friends.
Yeah.
Nicely done.